federal programs. Marcus has been with the agency for almost 1 year. I think he's coming up on his 1 year mark.
Yes.
And uh, and I have been with the agency since June. So we are excited to be working with you all. And so today's session is going to be a little bit different than some of the other sessions that you've been in. It's going to be a little bit participant heavy. So we're going to be counting on you guys to kind of give us some feedback about what your district may need some help with parent and family engagement, as well as some things that you guys are doing that are just super awesome, so that we can have a little share session. And so we're going to be doing that a little interestingly, and it's going to take it's new for us, so we ask that you guys be a little patient with us as we work through some technology pieces. Marcus, do you have anything that you want to add as we get started?
Yeah, I just want to also say hello to everyone. And again, the same sentiments that Leslie just mentioned. We want to thank everyone for all the hard work that you've been doing, especially in this last year. We know it hasn't been easy for you at all. And so we thank you so much for the hard work that you've been putting in.
Absolutely. So, Marcus, you're up.
All right. So to get us started, as Leslie indicated, we'll be engaging in some participation type activities. It's engagement, right? So that's what we're going to be doing, engaging. And so for our first thing here that we're going to be doing is we want to know the mood meter as it pertains to parent and family engagement. How are you feeling about parent family engagement in your district? And so we're going to use the chat feature. And so you can use some of the words that we have here listed on this slide or the color schemes as well. Hopefully you're not too far to the red, but if you are, that's okay. Leslie and I want to know that. That's why we're having this session right now. So if you will, we're going to take a few minutes. And as you chat, or put in the chat, I should say, your feelings of how your district has been engaging in parent and family um, throughout the last year or so. And then Leslie and I are going to kind of mention some of those things that we see in the chat. So you can go right ahead and start doing those at this time. Right. We have pleasant, we have grateful. And again, you may have a number of different ones that you may want to add. We have blessed, nice, pleasant, blessed, grateful.
Optimistic. I like that one.
Oh, yeah. Enthusiastic, excited, drained. Ooh, okay. Okay, we see that. Motivated, especially with that drain one. That's why we're having this session right now, so we can help you with that. Optimistic, sometimes concerned, calm, hopeful. You see any others, Leslie? Ecstatic,
Ecstatic and grateful.
grateful. Yeah. So we have a nice variety thus far of the mood meter, of how individuals have how they've been feeling thus far with parent family engagement in their districts. And Leslie and I, over the last several months or so that we've been together and we've been blessed to have this opportunity to take on this initiative. We have spoken with some of you in the districts, and we haven't gotten around to everyone, but we are circling the wagon, so to speak, and we will be meeting with everyone, whether it's through a Teams meeting or through a phone conference of some sort. But some of the districts that we have had the opportunity to speak with have indicated the exact same things that you mentioned here from the mood meter. And we're going to share some of those things out, and as we move forward with this presentation shortly, of some of the things that have been working, haven't been working, and perhaps some resources that can be helpful as well.
Absolutely. So I am recently out of the classroom. I've taught in Title I schools for 17 years prior to taking this position here at the State Department. And so here's just some things that I kind of found were helpful for me in my school setting, that kind of helped build those strong family relationships. Because if we want to amp up that parent and family engagement, we got to have the relationship first. So initial contact is key. So it is so important that whatever contact you have with them straight out the gate is a positive one. A lot of times you may have families that don't hear from teachers or staff members until there's something wrong. And that's definitely not how we want to hit the ground running with our families. We want them to know that they are very much involved in the educational process of their children. We got to allow ourselves to be available, whether that's a classroom teacher, administrator, or district office staff. The more available you are for families, the more comfortable they become with you, and they see that you have invested in their children as well. We got to meet our families where they're at. That includes time, and that includes their comfort level. So I've had experience with families that have parents had negative educational experiences themselves growing up, and so that negativity kind of flows through their children's education experiences too. And so we've got to get to their comfort level. We got to make them realize that they're key in the educational process, and then we've got to meet them at their time. So I dealt with a lot of parents that work those swing shifts, and if I wasn't willing to meet outside of that 7 to 3 time period, there just wouldn't be times that I would meet with those families. Keeping it simple, making sure that we're using language with our parents that they're not overwhelmed with, whether it's going over test scores or talking about the goals that we have for the students or the goals that we have for the population at the school. We need to make sure that we're using language that the parents are comfortable with and that they can understand. We want to bring the classroom to the families, especially now in the pandemic. I mean, we're so used to being able to have family nights and things like that. And I know that we're starting to get a little more comfortable in that aspect. But right now, we've got to send that classroom out to the families, whether that's through, Google Meets or whatever you're doing to invite the parents to still participate in classroom activities. And then really, oh my gosh, you really get bang for the buck when the students are taking the lead in things. When students are the forefront, the parents are invested as well. So whether it's the students are doing a Google Meet with their family and showing what they're doing in the classroom, or they're the ones that are putting on a program or something for the families to see, letting them just be the star of the show. And then the last thing is just creating a safe space where families feel valued. And a lot of the things that we've already discussed kind of tap into that. Marcus, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, just the similar sentiments as well, Leslie. Just starting off with initial contact is the key, as you indicated. That just sets the tone for everything else that we have listed here, because, once we kind of start that process with families, then everything else can kind of somewhat become a little easier to help them want to engage, because we have initially set that tone with them. But also, too, it's really key that I love the part about let the students take the lead, because we want to empower our students, right? We want to allow them to be engaged. We want them to express their ideas and suggestions, doing surveys with our students, doing surveys with our parents to see what are some of the things that we can implement. And some of you are already doing these things already, but if you haven't been doing them, this might be a good time to maybe start doing it, if you perhaps maybe for the end of the year or to start the beginning of the academic year coming forward. But also too, it's really key that we create, I want to go back to the part of allowing yourself to be available, the second one, because also too, a lot of times we only find ourselves being available when something is wrong, right, with our students. And so we want to make sure that we make ourselves available, having that open dialogue at all times. And with today's technology, it makes it a lot easier for us, within the district to be able to do it. It makes it easier for parents too, especially with COVID going on. Perhaps some districts are still not fully open just yet, but also too, we want to make sure everyone is being safe as well. So we want to make sure that that's key. And so using technology to stay engaged with them and making yourself available to them is very helpful also.
Awesome. So we're going to try to share a whiteboard with you all. And what will happen is on the whiteboard, you'll be able to come up to the little yellow square here, which is a little Post-it note. You're going to click on the Post-it note and you're going to answer some questions for us. So Marcus is going to go over the questions, and they all kind of fit together. So you don't have to answer all the questions, but really it's just digging a little bit deeper with you guys. So you'll click on the little yellow Post-it note, and you will type your answer on the Post-it note. And what we ask for you to do is to just put your little acronym for your school district. So if you're from Richland School District 2, just put R2 for us so that we know where you guys are coming from. And then once you're done, you just click off of the Post-it note and it will post it. Now, usually what I notice is that it posts this huge Post-it note. And I'll be with you guys, so I'll shrink down the Post-it notes. And so we're just going to give you guys a little bit of time to answer the questions on the Post-it notes, and then we'll review them with you. So I'm going to have Marcus go ahead and share with you. And then you're going to give me a second to get the whiteboard going.
Okay. All right. So our first whiteboard set of questions. Our first question is, what is not working in your district with parent and family engagement? Our second question is, what roadblocks are you experiencing? And then our third question, what support does your district need? And so one of the things I will add that Leslie indicated about the whiteboard and about the Post-it notes, we're going to kind of keep record of these because, again, this is going to help us tally and collect some information. By no means, nothing bad, but it's going to help us be able to help you. Right. That's what we're collecting this data for as well. So if you can go ahead, Leslie, and we can get started. And then as Leslie indicated on that Post-it note, if you can answer those set of questions for us. And then we'll go over them.
All right, so you see how big mine is, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down for you guys. So if you click on my blue one up that's in the top corner, you'll be able to see those questions again. Okay, so I was about to say, if you have issues with whiteboard, then let us know. Okay, awesome. So that's what we were a little afraid of. So what we're going to do is going to switch to the chat button. So if you guys would just type in the chat your answers to, so I'm going to go back to the presentation and we'll go back to our original question. So you can just answer that in the chat for us. That would be amazing. And the chat will save itself as well.
Yes.
It's kind of what Marcus and I were just talking about.
Correct.
Yeah, I was like, what if it doesn't work? It's going to be fine.
All right, so we have our questions there. So again, if you will, in the chat, just go ahead and answer those for us. And again, as Leslie indicated, you don't have to answer them all, but what best fits your district.
And we're just going to give you guys a couple of minutes. So we'll let you guys answer, and then we'll go through them all kind of together. Okay, awesome. So while I was muted, while you guys were typing things in, I was nodding a lot and going, um, like I said, coming straight out of the classroom recently, I feel a lot of these. Another one that I didn't catch, but maybe somebody posted that I found was communication. That I didn't feel like we communicated in the means that would our parents would always receive that message about any events that we were doing. So let's just kind of go through some of these. Um, so and a lot of these are you guys repeated each other. So attendance is a huge issue, especially right now with COVID. You guys talked about the fact that the virtual option is not always an option for parents, whether it's because of technology or because of internet, that it's not the best fit for some families. You guys talked about that drive-throughs and virtual were an option, but not always the best attended, and really you guys struggled with that, not having that face-to-face interaction with your families. You guys are still typing. Keep going. Um, you all also mentioned the fact that you needed different and fresh ideas for parent and family engagement activities. Um, and even like that there's a stigma about what the districts and even administrators are there for. And it's just, that they're there to field complaints or, deal with discipline and not necessarily to build partnerships. Um, let's see. Marcus, did you see any others that really stuck out to
Yeah,
you?
some other ones that I saw. Definitely this one right here. Some are having trouble flipping to non face-to-face activities. As a new director, I want to start with a fresh look and open mind to improving our family engagement. Someone else mentioned about professional development as well.
Hmm. Yeah, and then I saw one about the middle and high school level that it gets a little more difficult to get parents and families engaged there, which is Marcus and I actually participated in a conversation with the school district specifically to discuss those things. So um, we'll talk. Oh, trust is a good one. That one came through. I agree with that one. That goes back to what I was kind of alluding to, that, parents kind of come in with whatever negativity or thoughts that about education, or maybe they've had a bad experience with, their children's education in the past, and rebuilding that trust is really difficult. Yes. So I'm so glad, Tanya, that you mentioned that people are zoomed out. I totally understand that and I feel that. That, that's what we've been doing for the past year. We've been Google Meeting, we've been Zooming. And it's, especially now that things are starting to flow a little bit more for families. Um, they're starting to get back involved in family activities outside of school, and fitting those Zoom things in is not always at the top priority. And then as well as that, some kids are Zooming all day. Our parents are doing meetings like this all day, and the last thing they want to do is jump on another meeting at night. I'm still scrolling through. Marcus, you can shout out any that you've
Yeah,
seen.
transportation. Parents work too far and don't get off on time for the meetings.
Yep, that's a very good one as well. Um, let's see. Got that new ideas are needed. Um, mhm.
Parents are overwhelmed.
Right. So, and I think that, um, that could tie in with a whole lot of things, whatever they're dealing with, outside of, the educational platform. as well as some of them are overwhelmed with the technology. Some of them are overwhelmed with life right now. This pandemic's been kind of an eye opener, not kind of, it's been an eye opener for disparities across our state, as well as just kind of what, I've been able to, I was teaching through the pandemic towards the end of the school year. So even the disparities that we have from house to house. Awesome. So we thank you guys for sharing all those things. Like Marcus and I said, the chat saves, and I made notes throughout this as well. So these are things that we definitely know that we want to work with you guys on. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a plug here, and then we got another set of questions for you guys. We're going to kind of change gears, but Marcus and I are here, and we want to hear from you guys. So we want to hear if you're kind of hitting a roadblock and you need some fresh ideas. Not that Marcus and I are the end all be all on ideas, but we are definitely always here to bounce things off with, just to talk through different ideas. And so our hopes are through this next section that we'll actually kind of build kind of a database of what, we can use examples from other districts of what exactly they've got going on great, so that we can kind of make a connection network for you guys to be able to rely on each other. Like, oh my gosh, they've got it going on in Saluda County with their community engagement. They're using community members to come in and do some amazing things. I would really love to sit down and talk with Saluda County about how they got that started. So we're going to go ahead and jump. Well, Marcus, do you have anything that you want to add before
I was just going to add as well. I mentioned before that Leslie and I have met with some districts, and some of those districts actually reached out to us first, and so definitely, as Leslie indicated, please feel free. You'll be able to view our contact information towards the end of this session. But please reach out to us and let's schedule a meeting and let's talk through some of these things and see how we can assist you.
Right. Absolutely. So we're going to kind of switch gears here, and we're going to go from the things that we're kind of frustrated with to kind of highlighting some of those success stories. What do you got going on that's great? Marcus, go ahead and talk to us about those questions.
Yeah, we want to see double the amount of chats now. No, I'm joking, but
right. Really dig deep, because
but,
sometimes you guys don't know that you're doing amazing things until you throw it out there.
yeah, but to go through our three questions here, the first question is, what is working in your district with parent and family engagement? What success stories can you share? And what are some things that your district is doing above and beyond with families? So we look forward to seeing those things and reviewing them shortly.
Right. And so the way this is going to work is we may ask if you post something really great that we want to know a little bit more about. So we may ask you guys to share a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that don't not post, because I might call on you. But go ahead and we're going to give you a couple minutes just of silence to think through some things that you guys do amazing with parents and family. Like, it might be communication based. It may be, an event that you've done that was really well attended. And it can be pre-COVID or during COVID. Just think about things that you guys have going on and go ahead and throw those up in the chat box. Okay. You guys threw out some really awesome things. You guys are doing a lot of out of the box events to engage parents and to continue meeting with them through the pandemic. Um, so we're just going to kind of throw some out. What I've done is I have turned the mute feature off. So if I come across one that you shared, and I'm going to give a little pause after we talk through it, and you want to tell us a little bit more about it, then you can unmute yourself and elaborate on exactly what you guys did, um, and um, and then you just need to mute yourself back. So we'll start um, with Miss Collier here. So they did nighttime reading with the superintendent. So this was a family activity.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Basically, what happens in it's Sumter School District, and what happens during the pandemic, and it's still currently going on because it's been such a huge success. Our superintendent every Friday evening selects a student or a parent or a member of the community. And what they do is do a dual screen reading, nighttime reading. They pick a story and they each take turns alternating reading the pages of the stories. So not only do the students and the families have the opportunity to hear an awesome story being read by the superintendent, but they also get the opportunity to meet members of the community and students and administrators that they normally do not have the chance to meet and greet with. So it not only improves literacy skills and it's a fun event, but like I said, it also gives the family members and the parents the opportunity to meet district administrators and members of the community.
That's absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. All right, so Miss Sheely, we have open air events such as Make and Take Family STEM Nights.
Thank you, yes. And I'm sorry I didn't put my initials in. I'm with the Charter Institute at Erskine. One of our schools has access to a large field with their accompanying fire department, and they held a movie night and did popcorn towers. So they were outdoors, it was all COVID safe, and the students with their parents got to do these hands-on STEM activities alongside their teachers and community members.
Awesome. All right, Mrs. Bullmore, we have that you guys have done some wonderful events. So communication with parents, collaboration with community and business partners. And then you talked about STEM nights with Spanish-speaking families, drive-through and parking lot events, and even food distribution events in collaboration with community agencies.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am from Charleston County School District. And yes, we have a total of 46 Title I schools in our district. So I was just typing a few of the ones that I'm aware of. There's several. But the latest one with our food distribution was a collaboration with a community resource center in North Charleston. And we had about 800 families that was served. So it was a drive-through event at Jerry Sucker Middle School. And we also partnered with the Low Country Food Bank. So families were able to receive, there was also diapers, food, several items. So that's just an example, one of the wonderful activities that we're doing in Charleston. Thank you.
That's awesome. So that's meeting the whole child there, not just the educational piece. All right, so Ms. Harrelson, we have Bitmoji events have been successful and then open for an extended period of time. So events are open for an extended period of time. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that if you don't mind.
Okay, yes, this is Jane Harrelson. I'm in Berkeley County. And we had a lot of our students, we have Title I facilitators at our 21 Title I schools. And they would have an event, might be a math night, might be a literacy event. Usually it was themed around a book. And so the event, there would be a kickoff day. So that was the kickoff day. Usually ahead of time, the children would get a book and supplies to go along with an activity that was associated with the book. But it wasn't just, it's only open from 6 to 7. It starts at 6, but if you can't do it until the next night, that's fine. It remained open, and so they had plenty of time to get into it. And it was a way to, if maybe they didn't respond the first time, then they were able to pick up the pay. It brought more interest to the event because somebody didn't do it, but they went and talked about it talked to their friend on the phone, and they said, "Oh, well, you need to do that." Sorry about this, y'all. And so that was something that was unique for them, was being able to have those events and have them open. And the Bitmoji was just a cute way to bring it all together, and that was something that was kind of unique and something special that the kids liked, that they worked with. So they've had a lot of success, and they've done it with math, they've done it with STEM nights, they've done it with ELA nights. So the topics have been all over the board. So it's just been a lot of different things that have happened. I
love that it's been open for more than one evening, so it kind of fits into their schedule. That's wonderful.
That's all right. I hope we actually continue doing with after we get back to a more normal. I think that would be something that we will continue with.
I think you're absolutely right. It's funny here at the department. We've talked about the fact that there is no going back from this. We've learned things. We've learned that we can do things different ways, and so we got to incorporate that from now on. All right. So Miss Belton, so sent home math toolkits, and then also I love this. Having a local psychiatrist discuss the ACEs and social unrest, and just offering some different support for parents and families.
Yes, so back in the fall, when we kept having the different remote learning opportunities because of COVID exposure, we realized that even though the teachers were teaching using the manipulatives and webcams, the students didn't have the tools at home. So we created little math toolkits based off of their child's grade level needs, and sent those home in huge Ziploc bags right before the winter break. And so now the students, if they still have to go out on remote because of a close contact, they have the tools at home. And as the students were receiving the tools, our math coaches provided opportunities for parents to learn how and when those tools are most appropriate. The second one is kind of ongoing. It's the first Monday of each month at 7 p.m. and parents can log on and just hear from a local psychiatrist. He's from South Carolina and he's lived in our area in Rock Hill. And so he's talked about how to deal with COVID, especially when some of our families have lost loved ones due to COVID, or families have had to quarantine because of COVID. Also talking about the different social unrest in our different communities, how to handle if your child comes home asking about certain phrases different people are using, or what they're seeing on TV and in social media. And then lastly, even in a couple of weeks, he's going to talk about ACEs again, those adverse childhood experiences, and how to maybe sometimes even stop some of those experiences for some of our kids, because some of them are based off of our behaviors as adults. And then when the child has certain reactions and behaviors as a result of those ACEs, how to deal with it so it doesn't escalate. So those conversations have been beneficial for our families because they are actually able to ask him questions.
That's absolutely wonderful. What a wonderful resource for your families and both of those activities. All right. Ms. McMakin, so you also mentioned a Bitmoji event. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Sure. It was a big hit. It was earlier on this year. We have another one coming up with one of our schools soon, but it was a team effort. Some of the really tech savvy teachers joined in and helped set it up, and the principal kicked it off with a video, and then they were able to go in and just click on different things and experience all kind of activities. And they really promoted it ahead of time. And so there was a little excitement about seeing what was going on in their virtual world at their school.
I love that. I did with my own personal child who's in high school, we did a Bitmoji open house, and what a game changer that was.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So, Miss Kelly, I love this. So you talked about how you teamed up with Microsoft Office Store and you did a parent boot camp to help out with those virtual components.
Yes, good afternoon. NDD too, so I didn't put that on there, but we had teamed up. We had written a grant, and unfortunately we didn't get the grant, but the nice thing about writing the grant was it gave me contact with Microsoft Office Store, and Microsoft Teams District, and so they were so gracious. The trainings were done during the week. The first set of trainings we did was over the course of 3 weeks and various times. And so they did morning, afternoon, and they did evening events for me as well as Saturday. And during that 3-week period, they also had open office hour times that they gave the parents. So if there was something that they just wanted to call and ask a question to get additional assistance with, they were available to do that. The trainings were live and they were highly interactive. And the reason we did them was because we had put up on our website, the district website, like parents could ask questions about things that they needed to know. So we gathered all the questions that the parents had, and I turned over this information to the Microsoft team, and they developed training for us step by step. There was a lot of background work with that. And then we did a lot of advertising for it. We touched about 256 families in the district with this training. So it was really well attended. Parents really enjoyed the fact that it was interactive and live so that they could stop and ask questions along the way. And the trainer was absolutely fabulous. She would review stuff, even things that did not really pertain to what their child was using, but if they needed some help, with Microsoft Office with whatever they were doing. I mean, they offered that kind of support too. We're going to continue the partnership we have with them. Right now, I'm waiting for a trainer that was on the team out on leave that is Spanish speaking. And so we're going to do some events for our Hispanic families as well in the district to get them some help. So it's been really beneficial. We've received a lot of great feedback on it.
That's wonderful. All right, Ms. Hightower, I think I skipped over you. So why don't you share a little bit about what you guys have going on?
Well, I serve as the Federal Programs Director in Lexington 4, which we're in the southern portion of Lexington County, and we serve about 3,500 students in our rural area. One of the biggest, and everybody's mentioned parenting workshops, and we've continued to have a parenting workshop over the last, since the inception of our Early Childhood Center that was built in 2011. That's our school-wide school, and that we serve over 600 3, 4, and 5-year-olds there. And so preschool is really important, and we've always had a parenting workshop called PALS, Promoting Achievement, Learning, and Success, and that was something that came through, that the name came up with our leadership teams and our advisory teams when we started the ECC, but we tried to always have a monthly parenting meeting for our parents, and the same type of thing. Parents would receive a workshop, whether it was about social emotional learning, could be about curricular issues, something to help parents understand challenging behaviors at home, and then of course a literacy strategy and a book that the children would take home, and then the child was invited to come in with the parent and conduct an activity together, and it really helped parents connect to one another of all different socioeconomic backgrounds. So of course we've had to pivot with that, and we have virtual programs. And we also recognized a need that our students in preschool had some gross motor delays. And USC, their Department of Physical Education, we partnered with them and created a Skipping with Pals, where we're promoting physical activity and also increasing and enhancing gross motor development in our students. And so parents have really enjoyed that. Sorry, make sure I'm still on. Parents have really enjoyed that, and we also give them take home materials, sensory balls, bean bags, an activity pack, and a book also to promote the physical activity that the students are doing. So that's been fun.
That's absolutely wonderful. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Ms. Hightower, from previous conversations, I know you indicated that you had some helpful links that could really be beneficial to all. Are you able to put those in the chat at this time?
Sure. And I didn't mention, this is another program we're experimenting with right now is Parenting Partners. And some of, if you're in Richland 1 or Allendale or Marlboro, I believe, you may have already, conducted some of these parent workshops, but that's a way for us to to help some of our parents who want to lead and build capacity with other families in our community. So we're in the beginning stages of that, where we can conduct some virtual trainings for facilitators and help our parents be facilitators with some really engaging topics that are research-based, and help build leadership capacity for our families and our parents in our community. And of course, all this has come out of data from our parent surveys and from things that our parents want. So yes, I'll stick those in the chat.
Great, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Wonderful. So we just received a question about whether or not this presentation would be available for you all. And yes, it's being recorded, so it should be shared with you hopefully this week. And the chat will also be available for you all as you continue this week. And so we're actually running out of time, which was something that Marcus and I are elated about, because you guys shared so many wonderful things. So what we would love to let you know is that we are definitely here to continue these conversations. So even if it's, hey, Leslie, can you remind me of which district is working with Microsoft Office to help out their parents, and I could refer back to the chat and make that connection for you all. Or if you want to share some wonderful things that you're doing. So our hope is to do more of this in the future, to hold roundtables, to be able to just talk about what you guys have going on. Like I said, Marcus and I come with a wealth of knowledge from our experience, but you guys are doing so many things out of the box that we want to be able to share with each other. Marcus, do you have anything that you want to add?
Just to thank everyone so much for your participation today. As Leslie indicated, we look forward to having more discussions like this one. Looking forward to developing hopefully a database where we can all chat from time to time as well, even if we can't all come together like we are right now. But we look forward to continuous discussions around this topic, because it's very important that we look forward to helping the students in your districts, as well as the parents in your districts as well.
Awesome. And Ms. Murray, if you'll go ahead and either drop your email in the chat box or go ahead and shoot me an email, then we can engage in a conversation back and forth about your question. All right, I think that about wraps up our session. You guys have been absolutely amazing. There were several things that we didn't get to in the chat that you guys are doing that are just absolutely fabulous. So we appreciate you guys being willing to share the good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say. And we appreciate all that you do daily for your districts.
Yes, thank you.